Hi, I'm Sandy Peters, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to do a right twist stitch, or it's also known as a two-stitch right slanting cable. I've used these stitches recently in my Stroopwafel Shawl pattern, and you can see them here where two stitches kind of cross over each other in a pattern, right? So let's get started on our swatch. I've got this all set up. And I'm also going to be using a cable needle. So I've got a stitch marker here, a locking stitch marker. These just tend to be a little bit lighter and therefore easier to use on these small cables. Before I start my row, here is what this stitch would look like in a pattern. This is the symbol in the chart. I use the abbreviation RT for right twist, but here are some ways that it could be written in, traditional cable notation as a two-stitch cable. Now that we've covered that, I'm going to start my row, and I'm going to be working the first one with the cable needle. The second two are going to be worked in different methods without the cable needle. I'm going to begin by purling up to my first twisted stitch, and I'm going to prepare to knit. The first step is going to be to transfer one of these stitches to a cable needle. So I'm going to put that on the locking stitch marker, and then I'm just going to put that to the back of my work. Then I'm going to knit the next stitch as I normally would. And then I'm going to knit the one from the cable needle. Now I can either knit directly from that, or I can pick it up and place it back on to my left-hand needle and knit that stitch, which can be a little easier sometimes. But there you have it, a completed right twist. Now I'm going to work on in my row and show you how I would do these without a cable needle. I find that it's faster when I don't use one, but at least for this next method, there's going to be a stitch that comes off the needle completely. So if you're not comfortable dropping a stitch, you should probably use the cable needle for now. I'm just going to quickly switch the order of my stitches on the needle, taking the second one and bringing it forward and in front of what's right now at the tip of the needle. So watch what happens. Slip it off and pick it right back up. Then I'm going to knit into this first stitch and knit into the second. And there you have it, a twisted stitch. But there's a third way of doing this where none of the stitches are dropped off of the needle and you don't need a cable needle. It's a little trickier to see though, so look carefully. I'm going to knit into the second stitch on the needle first, and I'm going to make sure that I'm only catching the front leg of this stitch when I knit into it, okay? Can you see that? I went into the front leg, but not through the next stitch on the needle. And then once I knit into that, I'm not going to drop it off the left-hand needle. I'm then going to knit into that first stitch, which is usually what I would do first. So I'm going to knit into that. They've now reversed order. You can see that on the right-hand needle. And when I drop those stitches off the left-hand needle, the twist is complete. And I can go ahead and finish up my row. I hope you enjoyed one of these methods and that you want to try this stitch out. You can also find my other knit tips videos on YouTube here, or you can follow me on Instagram at Zandy Peters or on TikTok at zandy.peters.